What's up guys, Poke-sama here and welcome back to the Weiss deck profile. Today we'll be doing my fourth and probably final day of life deck profile until the ban is. Now, throughout the deck profile I'll be showing you which cards you can replace to make this deck more budget friendly. So let's get on to the deck profile. Running 4 of these pens and 4 choice. As for the level zeros, I run 4 of these runners. Now, what these runners do is on play, mill the top card. If it's a level 1 or higher, it gains 2k. So it's a 4k beater. Also, during your opponent's attack phase, when there's a card facing this card, it runs. Okay, if there's no card facing this, it doesn't run. What you can do is replace these runners with these free runners. These are your budget cards. Obviously, they are much cheaper than these Yoshinos. Now, these Yoshinos are not that expensive at all, but you want it to be, relatively cheap. And I can say this for English as well. Just the level 3s are going to be still quite pricey because English prices don't really go down. As for JP, this could be like under $150 deck. So if this is too expensive for you, you can just swap these cards out for these free runners. They're just free runners for the Fujimi Bunko set, right? Other level zeros includes the 3 brainstorms. Now, the 3 brainstorms is going to probably be the most expensive card in the set. If you don't have enough money for these, then here's another option for you. You can run the tap 2 search brainstorm or these Yoshinos. Now, what these Yoshinos do is basically you pay 1, rest 2 characters, you look at the top 3, add a character as show to your opponents, and send the rest to waiting room up to top 3. Right? Now, these are obviously tap self search brainstorms, and during attack phase, pop a character 500. Other level 0 options, depending on what your budget is, you can run these as well. Because this could be your level 1 game option and your level 0 game option. Because if your opponent doesn't cancel this card's damage, it gains 6k. So it's essentially a 7k beater. So it's really good. Move on to the last few zeros I have. 3 on reverse cascades. You don't know what the reverse cascade does. When this card is sent to a waiting room, you may mill up to top 4 cards of your deck. Choose 1 character, add to hand, and discard 1 card. Also, if you control another character, this gains 1k, so it's 2-5. It's pretty damn good. 2 Shidos. So pretty much self-explanatory. If you're running the event, you run the Shidos. Okay. On play, choose 1 of your opponent's characters, send to memory. They put that character back in any position they like on any part of the stage. Second effect, pay 1, send this to waiting room, mill top 4, add 1 character. 2 of these special Kurumis. Now this Kurumi is very much needed for your end game because of the Fujimi climax combo, obviously, right? I'll explain this much later, but as of now, the effect is global 500. Also, tap self, choose 2 cards in your clock, bottom 2, heal to memory. At the end phase, put the 2 cards that you heal to memory back into your clock. Or, rest self, choose 2 character cards from your waiting room and put it on the bottom of your clock. So you either deal 2 damage temporarily or heal 2 temporarily. Now, against anti-heal, if you choose to deal 2, you cannot heal them. So you're just basically dealing 2 damage to yourself permanently against anti-heal. So do be careful about that. 1 Cowgirl. If you don't know what Cowgirl does, is on play, check top, is a character, add to hand, ditch 1. Second effect is on play, this one card from hand, draw one. One discovery on play, check top two, rearrange. On play, pay one, ditch one, salvage a character, pump 1k to another character. Climax swapper. On play, reveal your hand to your opponent. If you have climax, global minus 500 to your opponent. Second effect, pay one, ditch one. Pay one, ditch a climax, salvage a climax. For the level ones, we're running 4 of these Kotaris. Choice combo. I'll play against 1500, so it's going to be 6k. Your average is 7k level 1 combo. Climax combo on attack. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a character, add it, and you may perform the action once again. If you reveal another character or an event, you may add it again. So you can add up to 2 cards with this effect because you can use it twice. Now, if the first time you trigger and you reveal climax, you do not get the second effect. Just saying. Now, this card is quite expensive, yeah, because there's choice standby and it does book standby. So if you don't have the budget, once again, you can always swap out these cards, right, for these origamis from the Fujimi Bunko set. Now these origamis are really budget friendly because they're cheap. The downside to the Fujimi cards is they're from the Fujimi card set, so you basically have to search for 2 different sets to get your cards. So what this card does is a climax combo with the book. It's a bouncer. When your opponent front attack this card, you may bounce it to hand. Other level ones includes the 2 events. Pretty much self-explanatory because I'm running the Shido, right? On play, rest a character. So you rest the Shido. You choose 1 to 3 effects. If you have 6 or less cards in hand, salvage level 3. Choose a character your opponent controls. Send to memory. Send to radium. They choose a character that's a level lower than it and put it on stage. Or mill 4. Mill up to 4. Add a character to hand. And then you pay 1, send it to memory, send it to radium, and mill 4 again. So with these 2 cards, you're milling 8. Other level ones, swimsuit, toga. I'll play against 2k until the end of your opponent's turn, so it's a 6/5 wall in a sense. And this is a good beater. That's a secondary level 1 option because you only want this. You normally want this card as your back row, so it's kind of 7k because it gives global. Second effect is your opponent cannot side attack this card, so they're forced to front it. Other cards includes these 2 level ones. These 2 level ones is going to be important for the end game, just as much as these. So you want these 2 cards in your hand during your end game when you go for your finisher. And I'll explain that more. So what this card does, I'll play against 500 for each other character you control. So you want to play this last to gain the full 2k. Other effects is on play, you may send 2 character cards from your radium into your deck and shuffle. It's a good card to compress. Go in with less cards if you're close to refresh, and is an amazing card for your finisher as well. Level ones, these Kurumis. This can be good for late game as well because of the effects from clock. If you have 2 or less cards in clock, it's against 2k, so it's 6/5. But if you have 3 or more cards in clock, it gains 1 extra soul. So a level 3, along with climax, potentially, it can swing for 3 like a level 3. So having good soul damage at level 3 is very good because you can finish your opponents off easily, right? But not having level 3s and having these, you're still getting the 2 soul because it gains extra soul. And I'm assuming you're like a 3/5 or something by what, second level 3 game. And then the last level ones will be the 2 counters. 2k counter Early play anti-change counter. This is going to be the clock anti-change counter. Condition is ditch 2 characters. What? No, ditch 2 cards, I believe. Oh, never mind. It's ditch 2 characters. Yeah. So it's quite pricey, but hey, it's level 1 counter, so. Move on to level 2. The free fast counter. The free fast condition is just pay 2. The amazing free stock bomb early play character, or early play bomb. So on play, if you control 4 or more other characters, you may choose a character and put it into stock. So you pay for his own stock, and then he gets the stock back. So it's a 2-0. It's amazing. 2-1 level assist. The second and third ability is basically discard. Alright. Level 3 game. Your finishers of the game. These 4 Fujimi Kurumis. On play, you may pay 1 and play another copy of itself from deck on field. This card procs if you play from deck or hand. So 1 Kurumi from hand can try field. Yeah. And here's where these 2 cards come in, right? If you have more than 2 cards, 2 Kurumis in Raid Room, you can play this card first. Send this Kurumi into your deck. Play the Kurumi in your hand. Use the Kurumi effect to break out these 2. Second effect, Climax combo. 2 or less cards in clock. On attack, choose any card in your Raid Room, send it back to deck, even climaxes, and shuffle. If you have 3 or more cards in your clock, Climax combo on attack. It gains 3k, I believe. Yes, it gains 3k. Mill the bottom 4 cards of your opponent's deck. Burn X amount of climaxes milled. So if you mill 1 climax, burn 1. You mill 2, burn 2. This is where this card comes in, because it almost guarantees you which effects that you want to activate, right? Let's say you're at 3-1. You rest this card. You take 2 damage. You get a burn effect. Or you're at 3-2 or something. You rest 2. You heal 2. You get the send cards back into your deck effect. So this card can be very versatile in which combo you want to use for this card. That's why I run it. Last level 3s. These 2 Kurumis. I'll play heal. It gains 1500, but if you control 2 other characters, this is also a memory kick. Also on attack, pay 3, ditch 1. Mill the bottom 5 cards of your opponent's deck. For each burn X, for each climax milled. So it's just similar to this card's effect, but mills 1 additional. Once again, this card is probably pretty pricey in GP right now because of the standby Kurumis, a standby build, right? So you can totally replace it with this, the TD burn 1 finisher. But if you do that, you're gonna need to put in more healers because this card doesn't heal on play. The last 2 level 3s are these 2. 3-2 Yoshino, on play, ditch 1, heal to stock, pay 2, bounce a character. And then the assist. Front assist 2k, on play, choose one of the 3 following effects. Look up top 3, add 1, or salvage a character, or global 1k and 1 soul. Oh, that's going to be it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy it. I don't think there's going to be any more Dead or Alive deck profiles. There's going to be other deck profiles like Gurren Lagann, more Nisekoi, updated versions. And until the bandits come, there won't be any more their life deck profile, right? Until the bandits. So I'll just see you guys then for updated their life decks, because it's gonna get hit probably. Until then, stay tuned for other deck profiles.